Hello, thank you for joining me for today's video. My name is Tracy Held. I'm an Independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Melbourne in Australia. My card today actually uses a sketch challenge. I've stayed fairly true to the sketch. I'll show you in a few minutes. Let me first show you what we're going to be using to make this card. I've used the timber embossing folder. The sentiment is from the Eden's Garden stamp set, which is coming in the January to June 2022 mini catalogue. I've used the little tag from the Tailored Tags stamp set, that's that one. And this edging over here is from the Tropical Layers dies, which is also in the January to June 2022 catalogue. And I've just found my little bow that I was looking for, which I thought I'd lost. The one thing that I did do, which I just couldn't resist, is my card has a surprise inside. So, ta-da, when you open it up, you've got your little presents poking up on the inside. And I've put a piece on the back for you to write on. I'm going to give you the measurements for the card. The measurements don't include the sketch. I'm going to show you the sketch which has the measurements for your presents on it. These are the measurements for everything else. And that's our sketch. Now, when I did the card, obviously I'm working in centimeters. These measurements here I used for the matte pieces, and I've just cut my DSP about 3 millimeters smaller than what these measurements are. If you're working in inches, you could probably cut the DSP about 1/8 of an inch smaller. Or if you want to take those measurements as being for the DSP, then cut your matte 3 mils or 1/8 of an inch bigger. Let's get started. What I've done is I've already run my card base through that timber embossing folder. You can see it gives you that textured look. It just needed something on the back. The DSP that I've used is the Simply Elegant DSP. You just need tiny little scraps of that. And for my backing pieces, I've used the brushed metallic specialty paper. We're just going to stick our DSP onto the backing. Here's the edge that I cut from those Tropical Layers dies. And I'm going to stick that along the top of my box here. In order to get my ribbon around the boxes, I need to glue them together first. Now, ideally, you want these boxes to look like they're standing one on top of the other. So to get that effect, we're just sticking them slightly behind. And we're going to do the same for the top one. I'm going to put those aside for a few minutes to dry while we work on the inside. For the insert, I'm going to use the In Good Taste Designer Series paper. I've marked up where I'm going to cut, starting 2 centimeters from the bottom, that's 4 centimeters, and then going up 4 centimeters and drawing another line 4 centimeters across. Leave half a centimeter gap, then that's 3 centimeters, up 3 centimeters, and another 3 centimeters, and then another half a centimeter gap, 2 centimeters, up 2 centimeters, and 2 centimeters. If you're working in inches, starting at the bottom, you would leave 3/4 of an inch. That would be 1.5 inches, 1.5 inches up, another 1.5 inches. Leave 1/4 of an inch gap, and then that's going to be an inch up, an inch. Leave another 1/4 inch, and that's going to be 3/4 of an inch, 3/4 up, and 3/4. And then what we're going to do is cut along those lines. The lines across I've just drawn so that I can see where to actually stop cutting. We're not using those as such. And now what we're going to do is fold these large rectangles in. And give them a good press with your bone folder. Now that's going to stick inside our card. So making sure that you've got your biggest present on the bottom. I'm going to put some glue here. Be sure to get glue on those little gaps that you've left. And your folds are going to meet up. And then we can just put glue on the other side, close the card, and it will stick together. Now I'm going to take my pieces of DSP for the inside. So again, on my first piece, I've got a piece of the edging that I've cut. I'm putting glue on the Designer Series paper rather than on the edging. Then I can see exactly where we need the glue. If I put it on the edging, I'm going to go over. And we'll just and I've got just a narrow strip of my gold brushed metallic foil. we'll just fold our piece in half. And then we're going to glue it over our pieces on the inside, and that's going to be pretty much an exact fit. And the tiny one. There are presents popping out inside. The glue's now settled on those. Now, ideally, you would be using the Simply Elegant trim, but I seem to have run out of the gold. I've only got the silver, which obviously isn't going to work with this. But I have found some of my gold thread, which is retired. It is from a while ago. This is very, very fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it into twine. That's what I'm saying. If you've got the twine, use it because it's going to be far easier. But sometimes you just have to work with what you've got on hand. So I'm just taking a few pieces of this. I'm going to put a glue dot at the back to hold it. And I'm just going to twist this together so that it lands up looking a bit thicker and a bit more like the twine. And we'll put another glue dot there. Yeah, that looks like it's kind of even. And I'm going to stick that onto the front of my card. Now I have stamped my sentiment and I've heat embossed it with gold embossing powder. So we're going to stick that on with dimensionals. I've tied a bow again with that gold thread. I've doubled it so that it looks a little bit more substantial. And here's another sneak peek from the January to June mini catalogue. These are the brushed brass butterflies, so try saying that quickly. And we're going to just stick a butterfly over the hole there. That's going to be for the back of my card, and I've cut another piece of that edging that I'm going to put on the bottom. And we'll stick that onto the back so that you've got somewhere to write your message. If you wanted to, you could cut a label or a little square or something to go onto the inside, but I just thought that that would detract from the presents inside, so I didn't actually want anything extra in the card. That's our sketch challenge and the surprise inside. I hope that you've enjoyed this video. If you like my videos, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and you'll be informed every time I do a new video. Until the next time, happy crafting. Bye.